Hello, this is my presentation for re-engineering a Bristle Bot. First, we asked, identified, and researched a need. The questions are there on the side that were provided to us, and I have a picture of my supplies and then my finished Bristle Bot, which I was pleasantly surprised that it was very easy to assemble and it worked just as it should. Then we needed to imagine, develop possible solutions. So I actually did several different trials just to try to figure out what would work best. My first was a toothbrush because the design of the Bristle Bot, of course, reminded me of my own electric toothbrush. And I actually made a design where I used a dropper, and I kind of had a thought of you could put water in there and you could provide extra water in your mouth while brushing your teeth. But that design seemed pretty simple because it was using a toothbrush head. So I did some research and I saw that there was a bowling bot. And so I tried to make that. I had Tic Tacs and I was trying to get the bot to move in the right direction, and it just wasn't working the way that I wanted it to. I think I could have fooled around with it a little bit more, but I was drawn to another idea that I had, which was I grew up in the middle. There's a picture of a spirograph, and I loved these when I was little. And I was like, I wonder if I could attach something to the Bristle Bot to kind of make it into an art tool. So my ideas when I sketched were to maybe dip it in paint or attach a marker. And I didn't actually have any paint that I felt safe enough with the bot just kind of taking over and maybe getting on some of my surfaces. So I decided to use the marker. What I found though is that you can't really just let it go. It needs a little bit of guidance. So in modifying and retesting it, I held the back of the Bristle Bot and I let it choose where to go, but I didn't let the back go by itself. There's my finished product, and I think I could add more colors and things in the future just to add some more. The evaluation here for the Bristle Bot, I had trouble coming up with some things. I think asking questions was done as I was building it, especially if something didn't work properly. I had to figure out what wasn't working right. New technologies just with the battery and also using the tools strategically. In order for it to be a completed Bristle Bot, you needed to use the materials correctly. In my redesign, I asked questions. What could I do? How does it work? What other materials could I use? I constructed explanation as I worked through this presentation. I planned and carried out investigations and designed solutions. I learned the new technologies with batteries and how they could work and that sort of thing, and the role that technology plays in the advancements in science and engineering. And then in mathematics, I made sense of problems and persevered in solving them, and I also had to use all of the tools strategically so that it would work correctly. In the STEM lesson specification checklist, Bristle Bot did not provide a challenge. The redesign did. The student could not relate to the problem in the original, but they could in a toothbrush or a toy or an art tool. Multiple creative approaches, no for the original bot, yes for the redesign. Does it integrate science and math? I said somewhat for both. It kind of depends on what you're doing with them. If students were working on a unit where they were using batteries making circuits, that would definitely apply. And it also depends with what you do in the redesign. Does it use the engineering design process? No in the original bot, and yes, as you saw in the redesign. Student-centered hands-on learning. I said somewhat in the original bot. It is hands-on, but definitely yes in the redesign. Does it lead to the design and development of a model? Somewhat in the original. You did have a model, but definitely in the redesign. Technology, no in the original, and somewhat in the redesign, as I was researching some things online to come up with ideas for my redesign. Does it engage students in teamwork? No for the original, it was individual. Somewhat for redesign, as we will watch and comment and give suggestions on each other's redesigns. Test the solution and evaluate the results. Somewhat in the original bot if something is not working and you needed to troubleshoot it, but definitely yes in the redesign. And does it involve students in communicating their design? No in the original bot, but yes in the redesign through these presentations. Thank you.